Level 80. Hail to the Queen. Judging by the look of relief on Chiton's face, you have saved him a great deal of time. Lady, my, what auspicious timing. I intended to send a missive to the Rising Stones, but it seems that is no longer necessary. Master Hancock wishes to speak with you regarding a matter of grave import, but imagine what other duties yet demand your attention. Still, he would request you meet him at the Ruby Bazaar at your earliest convenience. Oh, yeah. Actually in the Ruby Bazaar. Okay. Yeah, for now, I think we're just going to unlock it, maybe do a quest or two, and kind of get a feel for what it is. Greetings, honored madam. Will you be entering the Ruby Bazaar offices? So she returns at last. From what Tataru has told me, you've come rather a long way, to put it mildly. While the Scions remained locked in slumber, she sought aid from all corners of the realm. In fact, it was I to whom she first turned when searching for a champion to assist her in your absence. So as you have no doubt surmised, I did not call you here to discuss such matters. I have received word from Lord Heian that the Bozjan Resistance, our comrades in the Eastern Alliance, seek the aid of distinguished heroes in their fight against the Empire. Naturally, your name immediately sprang to mind. Bozjan Resistance, you say? I didn't realize they were part of the Eastern Alliance. Indeed, though the city-state has long since fallen to Garlean machinations, the remnants have agreed to join the cause. The Empire now in disarray, they would seize the opportunity to fight back. You would know the details in full. I think it best you speak with Lord Heian. His endless list of commitments makes him a hard man to find, however, so perhaps you can have one of his attendants at the House of the Fierce track him down for you. Now he's hard to find. Good stuff from us. He was pretty easy to find. House of the Few. Greetings, my lady. Lord Heian has been expecting you. Word reached us from the Bozjan Resistance. Lord Heian knew at once there was but one woman to whom he could turn. Left to the coattails not long ago, the view of Doma Castle helps to calm his mind. This way, if you please. Doma. This way, atop the broken bridge. He will be most glad for your arrival. Do you remember when we first shared a view of this castle together? Still under the Garleans' control, perhaps, yet for all their wickedness, its beauty would not be so easily sullied. It's good to see you, my friend. You must forgive me for forgoing pleasantries, but our guest here is in dire need of your help. Arsak of the Bozjan Resistance. Pleasure to make your acquaintance. As you have no doubt already heard from Lord He, my people seek to reclaim our homeland from the Empire. Under his auspices and that of the Eorzean Alliance, we aim to do just that. However, we recently received word that the Fourth Imperial Legion has been making plans of their own. It has long held the provinces of Nongshia, Dalmasca, and Bozja in an iron grip, using its Dalmascan headquarters to house the bulk of its forces. Till recently, that is. They appear to be diverting resources and manpower to their forces stationed in Bozja. In fact, 3 battalions are en route as we speak. We thought perhaps to strike before they could fully assemble, but the Bozjan resistance lacks the means to drive them off on its own. Aid from the Dalmascan resistance groups may have sufficed. Sadly, even Thrawn of Lenti's Tears has been unable to bring an end to their infighting. All hope is not lost, however, for Lord Hean has made a most intriguing proposal. An idea not my own, I must confess. We have our old friend Gosetsu to thank. The Empire tightened its grip on Doma. Our people were at a crossroads. Would they lay down and surrender or stand up and fight? My boy, Gosetsu. Sought me out, that I could become the spark that lit the fire of rebellion. Same must be done for the Bozjans. Require a standard under which they can rally, a symbol of hope to steel them for what is to come. Lacking a living figurehead such as Lord Hean, my comrades and I looked to our nation's past for inspiration. There we found the answer we sought, Gunhilder's blades. They were the elite guard of Queen Gunhilda, possessed of weapons blessed by the gods. Their exploits would become legend after defending our peoples against the Alligans in the Third Astral Era. The strength of their steel was matched only by their dedication to the Queen. Should one lose their life in her service, their holy blade was then passed on to a successor. In time, their title would lend itself to the most renowned of their weaponry, the Gunblade. But in truth, each member of her guard was master of a unique weapon. These sacred relics have been lost to time. I would see them forged anew. Armed thus, our people would know no fear. Drive back our oppressors just as Queen Gunhilda did the Alligans. Admittedly lofty and otherwise unattainable goal for one such as I, which is why I have traveled far and wide in search of great minds and greater heroes who might lend us their aid. We would be honored to have one of your renown at our side. We value the Bozjans' commitment to the cause, and I would see their plans come to fruition. Fortunately, duty demands that I remain here. I could not in good conscience leave knowing the Empire yet threatens the border to Alamigo. If you choose to accompany him to Bozja, might I ask you also act as a representative of the Eastern Alliance in my stead? Leave it to me. Thank you, my friend. If there is aught else you require of the Eastern Alliance, you need only ask. Safe travels to you both. Airship to our base has been prepared for us at the Enclave's dock. I hope to see you there soon. Hail to the Queen, complete. Level 80, Path to the Past. Morsak is ready to depart. When you have finished your preparations, meet me at the dock and we can be on our way. Enclave. All are free to travel in and out of the Enclave. Do you seek passage? I could have just come here. Die there. Coming aboard, miss. Travel to Gongnos. Just finished getting our other. The resistance. That we should play host to the liberator of Doma and Alamigo herself. I did not think you could be persuaded to help us. Azaljan, leader of the Bozjan resistance. Not the best choice for the job, if I'm to be frank. I will bear the title all the same. Bloody hells, man. You won't inspire much confidence speaking like that. Gerald. Aha, you're quite right, Master Gerald. While you're here, won't you come and welcome our guest? Huh? What in the seven hells are you doing here? Eorzea's greatest hero and her finest blacksmith. With the two of you here, our plan is sure to succeed. With that Queen Gunhilda, we're here to witness this. Boy, Zilly, just between us, I'm only here to pay off me debts to that black-hearted snake, Rowena. Been selling supplies to the Resistance, and they happened to mention they were in need of a smithy, so she went and told him I'm the greatest bleeding smithy in the realm, with skills that had put Beauregard himself to shame. Can't rightly say I'm even half of what she claimed, but I'll do me damnedest. They're happy to ply me with good grub and even better booze, so play along, will you? Now that you're both here, I believe it's time our plans be made clear. Bozja? Yes, of course. Our goal is to reforge the weapons wielded by Gunhilder's blade. Simple in principle, less so in execution. Weapons themselves and most of the text denoting the history of Her Majesty and her guard were lost to the devastation of the Fourth Umbral Calamity. That said, we have managed to obtain certain pieces of information, and coupled with Master Gerald's knowledge and expertise, we have made great strides in reproducing these vaunted blades of Eld. Worked out the manner of weapons they wielded, their shape and weight, even the materials needed for me to forge, but we've learned bugger all about what gives them spirit. It said Queen Gunhilda etched a holy inscription into each blade, thus granting them the power of the gods. Unfortunately, no records of any such engravings remain, but there is still hope. Though not but pale imitations, there once existed replicas which may very well have borne these inscriptions. Alas, they were lost when Bozja's citadel fell. You know of the Bozja incident? Incident? Sounds vaguely familiar. Yes, I do, though admittedly I do not recall it in detail. Bitter chapter in our history, for it would mark the end of Bozja as we knew it. 15 summers passed, the Garlands were conducting experiments, seeking a means to make contact with the lesser moon Dalamud. They believed the satellite to be possessed of immense power, and a lunar transmitter was erected in hopes of harnessing it. But when the transmitter was activated and the signal sent, Dalamud responded with an immense blast of raw energy. The destruction wrought defied reckoning. Citadel, the relics of Queen Gunhilder's kingdom, naught was left but smoke and ash. Hope ain't lost yet, though. The Citadel's been wiped off the bloody map, aye, but there's still a way for us to find those inscriptions, or so I've been told. Explanation better left to one far more knowledgeable than I. One from the Evil East raid. Why you have to do them first? Photo. Good to see you again, Zilly, though I had hoped to accomplish more before your arrival. Wait, don't tell me your name is. I'm sure your help will be as invaluable now as it was aboard the Prima Vista. You are far too kind. If not for your heroism, Ramsa and Alma would have. The onset of our endeavor, it was abundantly clear that one versed in etherology would be essential. We relayed this to the Alliance, who then introduced us to Mikoto. She is said to be one of the most brilliant minds among the students of Baldesion. And yet it is my ineptitude that demands your presence here. I was all but certain that Geralt and I alone would suffice in this, alas. The matter she speaks of concerns the long-forgotten practice of the holy men who once inhabited these lands. Utilizing uniquely aspected crystals, these seers were able to provide succor for those with ailments of the mind. Possess the ability to shape their very memories, removing those deemed harmful and replacing them that the patient may find some semblance of peace. I too dismiss the notion that such practices could exist. That is, until a recent excavation unearthed compelling evidence of their work. The crystals we believe were used in their healing. Fortunately, we were unable to discern how they are meant to be used. It was at this juncture that we petitioned for Makoto's assistance. Well, lass, made any progress? My initial analysis suggests the crystals were artificially created at some point in the distant past. The materials used suggest they were most likely produced by ancestral peoples of this area. More, their ethereal signature is strikingly similar to the oscillatory activity of brainwaves, which, when made to resonate with the distinct frequency NRR-type harmonic vibrations of an individual's... I've done it again, haven't I? I think a simpler approach is in order. Every living being is composed of corporeal ether of the flesh and corporeal ether of the soul and an ethereal residue of their memories. When to be possessed of only corporeal ether, it would be but a walking corpse. Conversely, entities comprised only of incorporeal ether are referred to in layman's terms as ghosts. In either case, they also retain some of their residual memories. Zombies and ghosts, I follow. These crystals are able to isolate and resonate with the ethereal signature of memories. This allowed the seers to probe the minds of their patients. That's all well and good, lass, but what if their mind ain't what it used to be, or it was too deep in their cups to remember what you're looking for? Excellent question, Master Gerald. We are all possessed of two types of memory, explicit and implicit. Their name suggests explicit memories refer to an active remembrance of previous experiences, while implicit memories are acquired and stored passively. For example, when making a new acquaintance, their appearance will become part of your explicit memory, allowing you to recall that information. If a great deal of time passed without meeting, however, such recollection can prove difficult. In that moment, your mind also takes record of the sounds and smells of the location, the temperature, and so on. Perhaps a demonstration would better explain this phenomenon. Without a seer? Don't we need some sort of spell? Thankfully, that will not be necessary. When I was first told of the seers and their practices, I was immediately reminded of your ability to peer into the past. Echo. I believe these people were blessed with a similar gift, and it is for that reason they were chosen to serve as seers. Though I too am possessed of the echo, I lack the ability to peer into the past as you do, and thus have been unable to wield the power of these crystals. That's why we called you here. Till now I could do naught but posit theories. With your help, however, I may now put them to the proof. You, Master Geralt, shall be my first test subject. Billy, I would like you to recall the last time you experienced the echo. Concentrate on that feeling. Master Gerald, I need you to recall a memory of the past. It may be anything you like. Better not go poking around in there, digging up something unsavory like you hear last. Please, Master Gerald, focus. Could be drinking, making kettles. Rowena telling him he has to work. This is most unexpected. For reasons I cannot yet explain, it appears the echo has allowed me to accompany you into his memory. You're a skilled smith, Gerald. There's no denying that, but you hold money about as well as your liquor. But what bloody good is money if you can't spend it? A man has to live a little, Rowena. And it wouldn't hurt for a man to use his head, neither. With all that talent of yours, I reckon you could have amassed a small fortune by now. Could have been you sitting in the syndicate instead of Godbert. As if I'd ever want to be anything like that doddering old half-dressed. Didn't realize my memory was so sharp. As you can see, implicit memory is surprisingly comprehensive. From the clear skies and ocean waves down to the exact words of your conversation, everything appears to have been perfectly preserved. You weren't listening to that, were you? Every time someone gives you good advice, you turn around and do the complete sodden opposite. I used to like that rebellious streak of yours, but now I see you're just a bloody idiot. Honestly, I don't know what I ever saw in you. Whatever it is you think you saw, it ain't as if I've changed since then. And you haven't neither. Still as beautiful as the day we met. Well, hold on a minute. I ain't never said anything like that. I swear on me last mug of ale. Implicit memories, while quite comprehensive, are not always true to fact. In the case of painful or otherwise undesirable experiences, they can be obfuscated to protect oneself from hard truths. Our perception of reality can also distort them as well, even when first committed to the mind. Then as time passes, such distortions can grow. Happy memories become more joyous and sad ones all the more bitter. Implicit memory is particularly sensitive to such misrepresentations of events, for a man is wont to remember what is most convenient for his worldview. That is why we seek the implicit, for there we are most like to find the truth. First time they mentioned they were married since Realm Reborn. Right at the end of the Zodiac weapon quest line, they mentioned that they were married. Truth, Rowena and me were only here a week ago. Don't tell me my memory is that bleeding unreliable. Self-imposed delusion, perhaps. As I said before, the mind has ways of concealing painful memories. I ain't feeling so well, if you'll excuse me. As you can see, these crystals allow us to choose specific points in a person's past to observe at will. Unlike the echo, however, what we see will not always be as it really was. Yet there still remains the matter of finding one who has seen the replica weapons and their inscription. At this present juncture, we might as well be looking for a ghost. After the Garlean invasion of Bozja, it was all but cut off from the world. None were allowed in or out, meaning all of its residents, and likely any who may have glimpsed the weapons died when the citadel was destroyed. What about the soldiers stationed there who were away at the time of the incident? Bah, even if we were able to find them, I doubt they could be persuaded to cooperate. Ah. Yeah, Sid was there. They mentioned that during, like, the Omega raids. No, please, Lord Varis, no. Yeah, they mentioned Bozja during the Omega raids. That's why he left the Empire. You saw it too? My visions, they are not of what has come to pass, but what is yet to be. Could be the crystal allowed us to share my vision as well? Koto, Zilly, are you two alright? Sid Garland, son of the monster behind the Meteor Project? Come to think of it, Yugiri mentioned that Doma and the Orzian Alliance have been receiving support from Garland Ironworks. I thought that the company should use such a moniker mere happenstance, but you mean to say Sid Garland owns this company? Son of Midas non-Garland lives? He must be summoned at once. If he was at the Citadel prior to its destruction, it's quite possible he may have seen the replicas. Fate is indeed a cruel mistress, pinning our hopes on a Garlean, the get of the bastard. Midas no less. Is there truly no other way? Bozja, I'll never be able to pronounce that right. Aha. Very well, I only hope our fallen comrades can forgive us. Please bring us this Sid Garland for the people of Bozja, for all of Ilsabard. I do not imagine he sympathizes with our plight, but from what I gather, he has no love for the Empire either. If that will suffice in persuading him to aid us, then so be it. I hear there are engineers stationed at Rauger's Reach. Perhaps you can begin your search for Garland there. Like a continuation from Omega. Omega. a new face. Hey, aren't you Zilly, savior of Eorzea, liberator of Alamigo, so on and so forth? The name's Bozja, newest recruit to the Ironworks. What can I do for you? Chief, too busy by half, according to Jesse. Between you and me, though, I think it's a load of... Oh, do go on. A load of what? I was saying, what a load off your shoulders it must be, knowing the chief is back from whatever he was doing. Speaking of whom, Zilly said she wanted to speak with him about... What was it again? God damn it, Lilja, you might hear better than most, but you're a terrible listener. You mind starting again from the beginning? I see. Well, you just missed him. Seriu's wall is due for maintenance, and he had a mind to oversee it personally. That said, any matters concerning you are top priority. I'll see if I can reach him. I take it this is an average day for you? Must be hard. Always having to put on a brave face as you thrust into danger, people tugging you this way and that like some sort of errand girl. Not that we don't appreciate what you do for us. Goodness knows I do. In fact, well, you see, I'm something of a fan. I knew the Ironworks worked with you on occasion, but I didn't think I'd have the chance to meet you in person. Can I shake your hand? Ilja, Sid being back took a load off my shoulders, not yours. Don't you have work to do? Oh, right, work, duty calls, but hopefully we'll meet again soon. Chief says he'll meet you at the Doman Enclave. Not the most convenient of locations, but it'll have to do, I'm afraid. One more thing, the Bozja Incident is something of a sore spot for the Chief. Even if it was an accident, most people outside the Empire remember it as a massacre. Chief tried to put a stop to his father's experiment, but his pleas fell on deaf ears. Even now, he still blames himself for it all. I should have tried harder, he'd say. I could have saved him. I could have saved all of them. All that genius, and the man can't find a way to forgive himself. If you're aiming to go digging through his past, be careful. I dread to think what demons he's got locked away in that brain of his. She's tough as Magitech armor plating when she wants to be, but her heart's in the right place. It's a shame she's always so busy. As are you, if I'm not mistaken. I won't keep you any longer. Best of luck. Path to the past. Complete. Level 80, the Bozja Incident. I cannot say that. Bozja Incident. Ironworks engineer is confused as to why you are still here and not at the Doman Enclave. Chief said he'd be meeting you at the Doman Enclave, didn't he? Well, best not to keep him waiting. Gonna be our main point. We're gonna have to change. Sorry, I'm Master Garland? Yes, I've seen him restlessly pacing about the Enclave. If you wait here, I'm sure he'll come by before long. Definitely before long. Hard to believe this place was, until recently, occupied by the Garleans. Doma has a long way to go before it regains its former glory, but they're off to a good start. So I've heard, if the Bozjans wish to follow the Doman's lead, I plan to do what I can to help them. In fact, I've already spoken to Lord Hean and agreed to divert part of the Ironworks resources to assist in Doma's reconstruction. The offer seemed to have taken him by surprise, but I assured him that in addition to the Ironworks' commitment to freedom through technology, I have my own reasons to reverse the destruction wrought by the Empire. While it's true that I eventually defected, I played no small part in the development of magitech now used by their military. Sometimes it's the threads you can't see that have the strongest ties. Would that I could cut them. How did Lord Hean take your response? The Empire's sins aren't yours to bear. Even so, not a day goes by that I don't think about the part I played in the atrocities they committed. If I could have made my father see reason, there would have been no Bozja Incident. But I was powerless to stop him. Yes, you're right. There's a time for wallowing in self-pity and a time for action. I plan to do whatever I can for the Bozjan resistance, but they're up against the 4th Legion. They're to stand a chance, their allies here in the east won't be enough. They're going to need all the help they can muster. Not entirely sure what part I'll have to play in all this, and I doubt anything I do will be enough to atone for my past mistakes. If it means throwing a spanner in the Empire's works, then count me in. Good incident. Upon speaking with Makoto, several cutscenes will play in sequence. It is recommended that you set aside sufficient time to view these scenes in their entirety. Eat and speak with Makoto. Yes. You are ready, I would begin our exploration. Think back to your time at Bozja Citadel. You needn't focus on a specific memory if that helps. Alright, just promise me you'll be careful in there. Oh, I didn't realize we'd have to do something. Could have stored tested before. See that? A military base appeared out of thin air, or out of my mind, I suppose. Here because he mentioned the Principia, I wonder. The world, the road, it just ends. Consequence of your incomplete memories. You have to think back, Sid. Where did this road lead? It all seems so absurd. Recalling the Citadel shouldn't be so difficult. Try recalling the cityscape. Do you remember where the Imperial troops were heading? Recalling the cityscape. Remember the blue of the cobblestone streets. If not for the occasional military installation, it would have looked like any other city. For the Imperial troops. Not specifically, no. They were on the edge. Something to do with Academy's research. Wait, I remember. Memory returns. The way forward opens. Done it, Sid. The road has returned. We'll be able to reach the Principia if we keep heading north. Look, there's the transmission tower. Site of the Bozja Incident. I'm never going to be able to say that, am I? Damn it all, the road is cut off again. Come on, Sid, you have to remember. Sorry, as ill I try as I might, my mind is drawing a blank. Maybe there's something around here that might jog my memory. Psychological stimulus to prompt recollection. Yes, that might work. Find a pile of well-worn blades and shields, though not of Imperial design. How far back would I have to go? Pay for the weapons is not to be found. Armor remnants. Find the smoldering remains of Magitech armor, no doubt left after a fierce battle. Weapons and Magitech armor. Right, the fighting had already started and I was... Well done, Sid. Let us press onward. All starting to come back to me now. Tension in the air is palpable. Alright, the soldiers were on high alert that day. Koto. Bozjan resistance had infiltrated the Citadel to stop the Academy's experiments. Suppose it's possible we can tamper with this memory? Curious question, one I believe worth investigating, shall we? Give them all dots. Gravity. See. Memory appears to be mending itself. Interesting. Altering memories is easier said than done, it seems. Well, let's keep going. Make your way to the transmission tower. Oh, please. Patentura. Here we are, the Principia. Inside is the transmission tower. In the seven hells are these? They be a manifestation of your subconscious? If so, they likely seek to suppress your memories. Meaning they intend to purge us from your mind. We cannot let them. Light speed. There's a lot of them. There's no end to them. We have to hold on. They succeed. Known there'd be more. I would have waited light speed. Out of the way of that. Curious that we could defeat these, but not the soldiers earlier. Perhaps because they are not truly part of this memory. We can worry about that later. Come on, we're nearly to the tower. Yeah, I need to work on my hot bar. Go further. Got a boss. Bahamut. Something about Bahamut cycles. The flare. Take a while. Don't I had to fight stuff. I would have come in as a DPS. I don't assume I'll have to fight him all the way down to I can do while running. Yeah, I definitely would have come in as a DPS if I'd have known I had. Like it would be quicker. Hi, Bahamut. Get out of that one. Really thought he was done. We've almost gotten him. Be done short. Dead now. Thank you. I feel better now. That's great. Perhaps now your subconscious will be more forthcoming with the truth in this memory. The tower. That is Pappy. Daddy. Father was so angry that day. Father, please, if you would just look over this data. Oh, damn you, the next time you question me, it shall be the last. Now leave. You of all people should understand the risk. Why do you refuse to see? Rather unlike him to overlook data, no matter the source. Look here, he left behind his research documentation. Pick up the research documents and find page after page of meticulous calculations and observational data on Dalamud. Young Sid posits that the Lesser Moon may very well possess the ability to harness and manipulate solar power. Moreover, the vast stores of energy it has amassed over the millennia, should they be unleashed, would far exceed any parameters the transmission tower may have been designed to withstand. By the gods, its data, the Empire would invite a calamity. So many sleepless nights spent on those damn papers, all for nothing. My suspicions are correct, and he was already... never mind, let us press on. The truth awaits us. Boss fight. Here they are, the replicas of Gunhilder's blades. Forever to Solus Zolsk Galvus, know your place, whelp. The Meteor Project cannot, will not be stopped. Certainly not by the likes of you. No, no, this is wrong. Emperor Solus couldn't have been there. That was weird. No, please, Lord Varis, no. Sid, you mustn't forget, this is only a memory. Sid Garland, bringer of ruin, herald of ash, your father must be proud. How does it feel to know such calamity follows in your wake, that your failing brings death to all you hold dear? Now you would set this filth against me very well. The filth of light and of darkness. One fate awaits those who oppose the will of the Empire. Trauma is too much. He's lost control. This memory is false, Zilly. Perhaps you can alter it with the echo. Think of your truest friends. Think of your strongest allies. Friends, strongest allies. That was always your greatest strength, instilling in others the courage to rise up, the courage to fight for what's right. Paladin? Your project cannot be stopped.
I shall protect thee.
Yeah, like to ask. Like kitchen sinking him. Ever just throw everything at him? What was that? Active time maneuver. Dare defy B.
You underestimate me!
Yes, check.
Gloves are off. I will not hold back!
Keep your guard up.
Leave the healing to me.
I will not hold back!
No, we didn't have to do anything like this before. Fine. I enjoy stuff like this. It's fine. I had no expectation that it would happen.
I will not hold back! I'll show you!
Dead now. Empire cannot, must not. Green DPS. This isn't right either, Emperor. Lord Varis, he wasn't there. The Academy was given full charge of the project. Though these events are as you remember them, this is not the truth. Not entirely. Whoever this is, your mind has been trying to protect you from them. Rewind. Real, it's fake news. Deep fake. If it isn't Varis, then who the hell's is it? What could I possibly have to hide from myself? Daddy? Oh no. So it was you who pulled the trigger, Father. Kid, look, his eyes. They already tempered. No, it can't be. Contact with Dalamud was able to stir Bahamut to consciousness. It stands to reason the Dreadworm discovered a way to link to the tower and thereby enslave your father. Which case, there was nothing that could be done for him. There is no arguing or reasoning with such individuals. There is only the will of the primal. If Bahamut was controlling your father at the time of the accident, and in all likelihood, it wasn't an accident. So the truth finally comes to light. Dark side. Memory of the weapons, at least. Bahamut's thrall, and no one was the wiser, not even your own son. Crazy bastards did it. Once Mikoto's described the inscriptions to me, I'll have those weapons forged in no time. On behalf of the Bozjan resistance, you have my deepest thanks. I'm just glad I could help. Ever since that fateful day, the truth of what befell our loved ones has eluded us. Held the Empire and your father responsible for their part in the tragedy, and for many years that hatred was all that kept me going. Indeed, I was blinded by that hatred, so much so that even you appeared to be as an enemy. Could not see the blood, sweat, and tears you have poured into bettering the lives of those seeking freedom from the Empire. Could only see a Garlean, and for that I am sorry. You can forgive me. Let us be allies, united against a common foe. Come now, I'm the one who should apologize to you. After all, my father and the Empire did. Even if not all of their own volition, their crimes will never be forgotten. At hazard, even victory over the Empire won't be enough to ease such pain, and even now that I know the truth behind the Bozja Incident, all that's done is to make me question the choices that led me here to this moment. Regardless of the past, we have to keep pressing forward one step at a time. For freedom! Just as the heroes of Eld would have done, we Bozjans grew up on such tales of peerless warriors, pure of heart and unwavering in their conviction. Yet here we are, so full of doubt and uncertainty. Will we ever earn our place in the pages of history? You're a Bob. If we live long enough, perhaps we'll be the ones to pin them. Say the crystal focus is no longer responsive. It would appear what stores of ether resided within it have been depleted. I did not expect our exploration of your mind to be such a taxing endeavor. To identify its etheric affinity and a power source with a compliant energy frequency, I am confident its reserves can be replenished. I thought perhaps the Alliance could use it to extract information from some of their less cooperative Garlean captives, but nothing's ever that easy, is it? Afraid etherology is beyond the scope of my expertise, so I'll leave the rest to you. If you need anything, don't hesitate to call for me. Thank you for all your help, Master Sid. I'd better head back. I have a mountain of work waiting for me. Before you go, if you ever feel lost, you can always talk to me. Of course, if I run into any ether-related problems, you'll be the first to know. Right, I really must get to work on the crystal focus. Right, with Marsa. Everything is at last in place to begin work on the weapons of Queen Gunhilda's guard. Master Gerald will be able to apprise you of any further progress in their forge. Meantime, we will begin preparations for battle. I look forward to seeing you on the front lines. Bozja Incident complete. Tuning to all Ethernet shards in the Doman Enclave will now unlock Gongnos as an Ethernet destination. Meanwhile, at the Valnain in Dalmasca, our spies at the Gongos encampment have confirmed work on the Blades of Gunhilda is underway. They are welcome to them. Who has need of such trinkets when the Lady of Blades will soon be in play? We'll proceed as planned. When their forces reach Bozja, you know what must be done. Roth. That's a 14 reference too. Understood. The Empire is fated to fall, but in its place a new nation shall rise, grander and mightier than anything the Garleans could ever have dreamed. Shall be made possible by the very power they abhor. Needs to summon a primal. On the Edge of Memory. Save the Queen, Chapter the First. Deception. Okay,